I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is probably one of my most anticipated directed modes here in BO6. I can't wait to see how they explain some of these steps and how they walk you through the main quest here on the Reckoning. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to provide you with some tips and tricks along the way in case you need it. If it's the game is not exactly telling you what to do on some of these steps, I'm going to be here to help you out. So of course, the very first thing it's going to have us do is open up Power and Pack-a-Punch, which is so simple. You're just going to follow the indicators on the screen and just open up the map, get all the way to Power and Pack-a-Punch. You don't need to watch me do that. That is the easiest thing you can do in BO6 Zombies. Now, I'm just curious. I did come up to the Mutant Research Lab as the first door that I open. If I come over here, is it going to give... It is going to give me an indication on screen that I can pick up that syringe. Now, of course, I'm not going to do it until that step actually tells us that we need to do it, but I do love that it tells you that you can interact with that item. Excellent job, Treyarch. Excellent job. And there we go. Power and Pack-a-Punch is turned on. Now, once I finish this round of zombies here, I have not had a special round just yet. I've not had a Klaus round, so we're going to go ahead and turn to a Klaus round, and we know that it's going to drop us an arm. And I'm very, very curious if it's going to tell us to pick up that arm during that step, or if it's just going to kind of have us carry on to the next step. And we have increased all the way to round cap 10 as well, just simply by opening up Power and Pack-a-Punch. So we're already 2/3 of the way to the round 15 cap, and all we have done is open up the map. Okay, here we are, our very first Klaus round. Now it's telling us to use the first letter of each code word to find an element on the periodic table in the Mutant Research Lab. It is not telling us anything at all about these Klaus robots. So I'm very curious. There is the arm right here in the 2-2 sub-level 10 area. So I'm going to go ahead, clear these out. It's not giving me any indication whatsoever that I need to pick up that part. So I'm just going to leave it there. And then I'm going to go ahead, turn another round here in the Pack-a-Punch room and get this weapon Pack-a-Punched. And then I'll go ahead and move on here to the Mutant Research Lab, and we'll take on this very first step. Okay, let's go ahead and drop down to the Mutant Research Lab. You can already see that there are indicators on the screen that are telling us exactly where we need to look. So I think that was a P. I'm going to wait for that to pop up one more time. There it is, P, pejorative, very nice. Let's go ahead and look at that. The indicator went away because we looked at the screen. I love it. So P for pejorative. This next one here, that looked like a B, looked like bellicose. Let's wait for it again. There it is, bellicose. So PB is what we need to find now on that periodic table, which again is marked with an indicator. So I absolutely love that. Oh, there is also a key card that just dropped right here on the ground. There it is. Now again, I'm not going to pick it up until it tells me that it's time to pick it up. All right, we need to go ahead and find PB on the periodic table, which is right here, number 82, which is lead. So PB is lead. Learned something new today. So number 82. Now it's telling us to put that atomic number into the keypad. I'm going to go ahead and buy some PhD, and we're going to go ahead and enter this on the keypad. Now it's not telling us to put the 0 ahead of it, but we know that when you only have two numbers, you have to put a 0. So we'll put 082. And that's going to go ahead and unlock this secret room for us. It's now telling us to lure low health vermin into the cyst, which again is marked with an indicator on the screen. So we need to shoot some zombies in this room in order to turn some of them. Kind of got trapped in a corner there. That's kind of dangerous. But there we go. We got a vermin, and we'll PhD them. And there you go. The vermin gets sucked up, and it's telling us we got to do 3. So we are 1 of 3 on vermin. And the best way to get vermin for this step, of course, is just kill the zombies up here, and eventually they will spawn in some vermin for you. There we go. There's a vermin. We PhD him, and he gets sucked up in there. PhD is your best friend during this particular step here, as it just makes getting them to low health and getting them sucked up by the cyst so much easier. And there we go. We finally got a couple more vermin to spawn in there. So we're going to wait for them to get close to the cyst. We're going to PhD through there. And there's our third vermin objective. And now we need to lure 3 low health zombies. This part is the easy part. And there we go. That is our final zombie there. It is now telling us to pick up the cyst, which we will go ahead and do. There we go. It's open up. We're going to go ahead and take the cyst. And what are we off to next? Bring the cyst to the etheric floral in the quantum computing. We're going to go ahead and drop on downstairs to the quantum computing lab. I'm going to hit the arsenal machine here and upgrade my weapon just a little bit. Let's go to blue rarity. How about that? And these plants are marked again with an indicator on screen, so we can go ahead and stand underneath these guys. Now we know that we can hit fire, but we cannot reload while we're here. So if we want to reload, we need to back off of the plant and reload our weapon. But we can hit fire and kill these guys while we're under here. We just can't reload. Now, there are some ways you can cheese this. Like if you pull out a Molotov before you walk in there. Actually, that plant is done, so we can move on to the next one. Let's go ahead and open this door. And okay, now we know this is one of them, but it is giving us indicator for this one over here. So we'll go ahead and suck the floric health out of this one. And there we go. And then the final one is now indicated over here for us, so we can go ahead and do that one. Okay, now all three of those are complete. It's going to tell us to initiate the power surge and the dark entity containment. So it is definitely just focusing in on this wonder weapon here as the very start of this main quest. I think it's interesting because there are other, like, to me, it's important to make sure you have picked up those Klaus parts as you're progressing through this game. But the fact that it has not told me that I need to pick up those Klaus parts is very interesting to me. Round cap is still just round 10. My weapon is not very powerful right now, which I find to be very interesting. But let's go ahead and initiate the power surge, and we're going to hit all four of these. It's going to give all the indicators on screen here for us. It doesn't seem like it matters which direction you go as long as you hit that first one over there first. Now, bring an Uber Klaus with no shield generators to the container's transfer pad. So there is our Uber Klaus. We need to knock off his shield generators, which I'm very interested to know that that's what those are indeed called. This Uber Klaus does not seem very, like, he seems pretty strong to me. I feel very undergunned for this particular step right now. I don't like it. I don't like it, but we need to knock off his shields. Now, we know that these things right up here are what we need to shoot off, but the game really isn't telling you exactly what the shield generator is, but we do know that it is indeed those shoulder pads. So now that we got those off, we can go ahead and lure him onto this pad. Here he comes. He always stops short and shoots you with electricity. And there he is. He's now on the pad. Now, destroy the Forsaken. All right. We shall attempt to destroy the Forsaken. Oh, he's definitely a slightly weaker version, which is nice. If I were taking this particular step on in the normal main quest, he would not be going down in health quite as quickly as he is during this one. But he is going down in health, so we will take it. And we just simply got to fight our way through this. I mean, he's an Uber Klaus. Honestly, it's no joke. Take it seriously. I would probably get your weapon a little bit more upgraded than I have mine. As you can see, we're doing damage, but we're not doing a lot. This FFAR is not exactly the strongest gun in the game. It's actually one of the weaker weapons in the game. We've almost got this guy finished. We are very close, very close. Come on, finish him off right here. There we go. Now we got to destroy the core. Have bought ammo like 3 times during this fight, which is kind of insane to me. There we go. Forsaken is destroyed. Finally, a max ammo. Some ammo I don't have to buy. Infuse the cyst with the Forsaken remnants. Let's go ahead and just interact with it is simply all you have to do. And that's going to spawn us our Gorg effects. Pick up Gorg effect. You got it, Treyarch. All right, with our Gorg effects in hand, what is the next step, Treyarch? And look at that. There is another Klaus arm right here. So both of our arms have dropped. And as of right now, I'm not getting an update. There we go. There's the updated objective. Speak with Blanchard. Oh, it's going to have us upgrade the Gorg effects. I'm very curious as to why. Why are we Why are we upgrading the Gorg effects? We don't even have to do that for the main quest. Okay, let's speak with Blanchard. It's what it's telling us to do. Okay, now after we've spoken with Blanchard, it's now telling us to summon a maintenance Klaus from reception or help Panos in the quantum computing. So it is going to give us our choice as to which one of those we would like to do. But before I do any of that, I would like to visit the Wonder Fizz because goddamn, son, I need some speed cola. All right, I need some speed cola, like really bad. So we're going to go speed cola. We're going to go double tap as well. And in addition to that, I'm also going to buy a 2-plate vest and spend some of these riches. Now, I will note that the round cap has gone up now to round 11. And I think that we go ahead and head back to spawn and let's do that version. So we're going to go ahead and interact with this one and summon in the maintenance Klaus. And again, we got another Klaus round. It's not even telling us that we need to pick up the arms. It is telling us that we need to protect this Klaus. So we are going to protect him. Fend the maintenance Klaus. This is actually a little bit more of an intense lockdown step than I ever remember having here. Now it's telling us to reset the ether elevator shaft. So you can see it's kind of gone dark in here. And this one over here is giving us the indication to go to. But it's not. Look at that. We got another Klaus arm right there. So obviously we cannot go up this elevator shaft, but it's not telling us how to reset the breakers. Well, actually it kind of is, isn't it? It is giving us the indicators on the screen. We just have to go the other way to it. So we'll come up through the mutant research lab and then we'll come back down into the quantum community through the hole in the floor. And that'll bring us over to the elevator shaft where you can now see the indicators. And we'll pull our parachute and we'll go ahead and just hit these indicators on the way down. So they are on the screen for you, which is very helpful. But I'm very curious as to why we have to upgrade this Gorg effects. But I do like that they are walking you through the Gorg effects upgrade, even though it isn't necessary for the main quest when you are doing it on your own. All right, bring the Gorg effects to the quantum computing core. We have it. I have my Gorg effects in hand. And you can see that that is now flying around. So free Panos shards from zombies with the Gorg effects. And we need 5 of those. There's one right there. There we go. There's one right there. That's 2. That's 3. And looks like 4 and 5 are right here side by side for me. And a double points. I'll take that. That'll get me some more perks and some more upgrades. All these wisps are now going around the room, and here Panos is going to go ahead and spawn in and then confront Panos with the Gorg effects, and we just simply interact with him and that confronts him. All right, take the upgraded Gorg effects. All right, we got it. All right, so pick up the DNA freezer key. So that is giving us an indication that we need to go up here. And then with a little map knowledge, we know it'll probably be faster to just drop down to spawn and then come over and take the elevator shaft up here to the mutant research lab. Rather than jumping from tower to tower, you could do it either way. But now that we are up here, there is an indicator on screen, and it is showing us where that key card was dropped. So very nice. We'll pick that key card up, and it's showing us exactly where to put it. So go ahead and open that up and pick up that vial. And then maximizing our time here in the mutant research lab, it's telling us to go ahead and pick up the syringe. So we're going to interact over here, pick up the syringe, jump into the particle accelerator beam in sublevel 10 and knock down the scientist's corpse. Now I did upgrade my weapon to purple rarity, and I'm going to go ahead and double pack-a-punch because I know that we're going to have to fight this really tanky mangler guy here really soon. So I'm going to go ahead and double pack-a-punch my weapon. Now it's telling us to jump into the particle accelerator here and knock down this scientist body, which is right there, nice and convenient for it. Marks it on the ground, use the syringe to draw the blood sample, so interact, very easy. I love how it's really breaking it down for you. And I love that. So many players out there really need that in order to complete these main quests. Like, there are a lot of people that do need this directed mode out there, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But it is going to have us insert the blood sample into the syringe, the sample syringe in the mutant research lab. So we're going to go ahead and head back to the mutant research lab. And it's going to have us go ahead and interact with this again and place the blood sample. Now again, for this step, you're going to want to make sure that you are built up with your weapon, at least a little bit anyway, because you are going to have to fight this HVT Mangler, and he can be quite tanky. So I'm Epic Pack 2. That should be enough. This FFAR is way weaker than I ever remember it being. This quite possibly could be one of the worst weapons right now in BO6. Like this, it's actually incredibly bad, but this guy is much easier than he is in the standard mode, as he died there pretty quickly. Now it is telling us, I'm gonna grab some dead shot while I'm here, why not? It is telling us now to pick up that Fowler mutant injection from the ground, so we're going to do that. Use the Fowler mutant injection to bypass the biometric scanner in the dark entity containment, so let's head up to dark entity containment again. Now this definitely isn't the most efficient way to beat this main quest, but it's doing an excellent job. There is an indicator on screen and it's telling us exactly what to do. So we're going to interact, we're going to go ahead and go into our mutant injection, and that's going to bypass that scanner and open this door for us. Read the date and item numbers from the SAM file in the teleportation lab. Okay, so it's going to have us do this one first. So we're going to go ahead and interact with this one, and that's going to give us number 6, the BND badge 628. And then search for dates and item numbers in the SAM files around the executive suites, and it does look like there are going to be indicators on screen for each of these. Looks like we have one right here on the reception desk. 3 Scarf 82185. Next one's going to be right in here underneath this TV here, and that is Combat Goggles 1012. And then looks like the last one is going to be out here on this front desk. So there we go. This is actually the reception desk. The other one was Rick Toffin's desk, Katana 128. Use the dates and item numbers to solve the admin's PC password in the teleportation lab. So it's not exactly telling you that you need to put it in chronological order based on the number, but it's basically telling you can. Look at that, another Klaus arm right there. There's just been so many of those around the map. So based on our dates and numbers, our code is going to be 6352. So we're going to go ahead and interact with this 6352. Access granted. Now we need to boost the particle accelerator in sublevel 10. Nice and simple. We can do that. Let's head on back to the Pack-a-Punch room. And of course, as always, a nice indicator on screen. So let's go ahead and activate that boost. Eliminate quantum vermin with the Gorg effects to gather energy. Okay, so it is telling us to use the Gorg effects to kill the quantum vermin. And look at that. It's even giving us a scoreboard right there on screen. And you can see each one of these is worth 200 points. And the last one should be right there. Nope, missed him. Shoot him again. There we go. And we have 1,030 out of 1,000. And we got another 19 seconds left in this lockdown. As you can see, if we were to shoot a zombie, they are going to be worth 10 points. And then again, with an indicator, it's going to put us and tell us to gather the energy to attune the Gorg effects. So there we go. We gathered it. Use charge shot from attuned Gorg effects to clear the crystals in the teleportation lab. This so far has been an almost perfect directed mode. It's curious to me that it's telling you, I'm wondering if maybe it was a bug. Maybe it's always been a bug and you're supposed to have the upgraded Gorg effects, but they just didn't fix it and probably never will at this point. But given that the directed mode is making us upgrade the Gorg effects, I don't know. But we use a charge shot on these crystals, the indicators on screen. Very simple. Next, we need to shoot down the fungal head. All right, let's do it. Charge shot of the Gorg effects. Show me the fungal head. And there we go. Indicator on screen. We're in quantum computing, and we're going to shoot a charge shot up there. And that's going to knock down our fungal head. I'm assuming the next step will be pick up the fungal head. It is pick up the fungal head. So let's pick up the fungal head. Punch a mop bucket to move it under a sprinkler. And it is giving us choices of all 3 mop buckets that are located around the map. So I do like that. So let's go ahead and punch this one since we're closest here. We're going to use our boxing gloves for that. And there we go. The indicator went away once it's under the sprinkler. Use an explosive or flammable equipment to activate the emergency sprinkler. I don't think you can do this with the Gorg effects. You cannot. So we do need to find an explosive. And unfortunately, I don't have one, which means I'm going to have to head to the crafting table and craft myself something. Now, I do believe the cheapest is indeed a Simtex, so we'll go ahead and grab one of those. Then with Simtex in hand, it's telling us exactly where that smoke detector is, so we'll throw that. And that fills that. Now it's going to tell us to hydrate the fungal head in the mop bucket. So interact, place it down, and eliminate zombies near the fungal head. And it's 40 zombies. I knew that this was a lot of souls, and this gets even higher if you are playing with a team, but that's a lot of zombie souls. And with that should be the last one. It's gonna have us pick up the fungal head. So let's go ahead and pick up that fungal head, and we're gonna take it back to the teleportation lab. Now it's not saying anything about that little ghostly shadow thing that'll follow you and damage you while you're holding this fungal head, but I'm sure you'll pick up on that pretty quickly on your own. We're going to head back into the teleportation lab, and we're going to use the fungal head to repair the teleporter frame. Go ahead and place it. All right, now the next step here is to lure an Uber Klaus to the dismantled Klaus in the Android assembly. And it spawned us in an Uber Klaus. I love it. And I will note, we are only round cap 14 at this point. So we're going to lure this guy in. Is it going to tell us exactly what we need him to do? Yes. Energy projectile to power on the dismantled Klaus, which we have now done. That is step complete. Now I'm pretty sure I can go ahead and kill this guy. I shouldn't need him for anything else. Pick up 2 spare Klaus legs. And it's going to tell us exactly where those Klaus legs are. I love it. That's perfect. And the first one's right here behind me. So we're going to go ahead and pick up that one. And the other one's right down here. So let's go ahead and pick up that one. Shoot off 2 Klaus arms. Now it's just going to spawn us in commando Klauses. Now I'm sure if we would have picked up those arms as we went along, it would probably just simply skip this step. But there's a Klaus arm there. And can we get 2 of them like in one go here? I'm sure maybe we can. Or is it just going to continually spawn us in some Klauses? But also being epic pack-a-punch 2 and only doing 1300 damage is just terrifying to me right now. Why did I choose the FFAR? Don't use the FFAR in your gameplay. Don't do it. It is no longer spawning in some Klauses. So I'm going to turn this round, and we'll see if it'll just simply spawn in some more on the next round, or if I'm going to have to wait a bunch of rounds in order to get more Klauses. And it is going to go ahead and spawn us in some more Klauses, which is perfect. We'll shoot their arms off. Just don't shoot their eye out. Okay, that was lame, and I know it. I'm sorry. I really am. I don't see an arm. I didn't get an arm. How unfair. Oh, we did get an arm. It's right here. Very nice. We'll go ahead and pick that up. Now we have all of our arms. It's going to tell us to go ahead and repair Klaus. So we'll interact with him and repair him. And the next step is wait for Sam to initiate a trial. So that actually makes sense. So once he's pecking on this keyboard, that is why you need to turn the round sometimes, because the Sam trials only come in at the start of a new round. So there we go. So that kind of explains that step a little bit. And then of course, just escort him, complete the Sam trial successfully. And of course, we need to kill 40 zombies down here. This is pretty standard. We already knew this, but we are actually very near completion at this point. And there we go. Let's go ahead and collect our rewards. I got a Casimir device. Honestly, I'm not even going to worry about it. Punch open the memory terminal in quantum computing using Melee Macchiato. This has been fantastic. This has been great. Treyarch has absolutely nailed this directed mode. I would venture to say pretty much anybody should be able to hop into this directed mode and be able to complete this on their own, which is exactly what the directed modes need to be like. Let's go ahead and grab our Melee Macchiato. Punch this open. All right, carry the ether brain to the teleportation lab before it phases away. So let's grab it. PhD helps for this. It's not giving me a timer on screen, so I don't know exactly how much time you have for this step. but it does help to know the path beforehand. So if you are still not very familiar with the map, I would say learn your path from the brain up to this teleportation lab before you start this, because this is not the easiest step in the world, and you do need to move rather quickly. PhD will help with that. Stamina up will help with that. We're going to place that right in there. Indicators tell us everything we need to do. And we need to take a vacuum seal device. Now, this is the step that has never really made any sense to me, so I'm curious how they kind of describe this one. Oh my. So the vacuum seal device that it is telling me to grab is all the way over here in Richtofen's office. Now, there is one that is right outside of the portal there, but that's not the one it's telling us to grab. It's telling us to grab this one in here. So very curious, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and pick that up. Capture 4 antimatter clusters in the vacuum seal devices. And it's showing us one right behind it. Very nice. We throw it, we catch it, we pick it up. Beautiful. 1 of 4 done. Let's follow the next indicator. Okay, so it's just showing us all of the items. We need another vacuum seal device. So can I get one again from here? I can. So this one's just going to keep respawning. Now during the normal mode, you'll have to just go find some other ones around the map. But it looks like it's probably just going to keep me in this area right here. So there we go. There's a second one. Grab another. Oh, nope. It's not available yet. Okay, so we do have to wait for it to come off of a bit of a cooldown, which actually was very short because it's off a cooldown now. Antimatter device number 3 captured. Very nice. Or antimatter cluster rather. And then the final item is going to be right here in this room. So as soon as this comes off of cooldown, which should be any second now. How about now, Johnny? No, there we go. Thank you very much. We'll grab that and we'll throw one more, get one more antimatter cluster. And that is all 4 of those. And now we just got to return that captured antimatter to the teleportation lab. Seems pretty standard. It's pretty much what I do at work, 16 hours a day, 2 days a week. All right, let's return those vacuum seal devices in the antimatter. Stabilize the portal by pressing the switches as they turn red. You got it. Pressed that switch. There's the second switch and a third switch, and that's it. Round cap 15, we are done. Take the portal to tower 3. Well, I will, but not just yet. Let me go ahead and get my weapon and get all of my perks, and then let's go find out what this boss fight is like in directed mode. Oh, I just got a perkaholic, baby. Let's go. All right, I think we're ready to go ahead and take this on. So let's go ahead and head on in. Now we need to make a decision. Are we going to help Richtofen or are we going to help Sam? So let's attune the artifact. I think we're going to vote to help Sam. And let's take on Richtofen in directed mode. And I feel very underprepared for this. Typically, I want certain gobblegums when you go into this. I have Ether Shroud. I have a couple of smoke grenades. And I do have the under barrels smoke launcher thing here. But we don't have a lot of money to buy a whole lot of ammo. So we'll kind of see how this goes. I'm hoping that being that it's the directed mode, it's going to be a little bit simpler for people to beat this. And maybe we won't actually need all of those things, but we'll find out. That's what I'm here for. I'm being a test dummy for you. We'll find out just how difficult this fight's going to be, especially when you are a bit underprepared for it, which I am right now. I'm very underprepared. I have an underpowered weapon. Typically, you'd want to have certain gobblegums. Now, I do have a full power available to me, an insta-kill available to me. If I need to use them, I will use them. But it is walking you through exactly what you need to do on your way up here. It's having you charge all 3 of these energy conduits, which is pretty simple to figure out, even not inside a directed mode. But of course, it is directed mode, and they're all marked for you. It's not telling you how many kills you need, but it's somewhere right around 15 kills. And so far, now I am going to glaze this just a little bit because I think Treyarch did an amazing job with this main quest and with this directed mode. I think they did absolutely amazing. Definitely the best directed mode yet for BO6. So give them credit where credit's due. They may have screwed up some things lately, but this directed mode is not one of them. They definitely did not. They've done an amazing job. I'm very nervous for this fight, but we'll see what happens. This next stop here is going to be shooting the crystals on the wall. I'm sure that they are all going to be marked with indicators as to which ones we need to shoot. Destroy the energy nodes. It's actually not oh, it is telling us. It's just telling us in their own particular order. But yeah, basically just going to shoot these crystals. You can shoot them however you want. You can do it based on one indicator at a time, or you can just go through, find them as you run around here and just break them off. But that's 4 out of 6. Now there are a lot of zombie spawns during this particular phase, so be careful. Be on alert. Be on alert, because there are a lot of zombies. There we go. That is all 6 of those, and we're gonna go ahead and head back onto the tower. We are ready. This is it. We are taking on Richtofen, and we'll find out just how difficult this fight is. I could have went with Sam, and we could have went the guaranteed victory, which I can almost, without any doubt in my mind, say that it would have been a guaranteed victory. But in this one, no, but we can go ahead and start. Oh God, we are shredding him. Good golly, we are shredding this guy. So we got the first stage here is the easier part, and we just need to take out this Uber Klaus, this Uber Richtofen here. Now I am worried about ammo. Ammo is definitely a concern of mine right now. We do need to make sure we are still killing some zombies as well, but it seems like he does do just as much damage to you as he does without it. But you can see I'm only doing like 645 here. Some Uber cores. These guys should drop some ammo. Beautiful. And I got like, I think like 150 rounds for that, which is, yeah, 132 rounds. I was close. I was trying to do some quick mental math. But it's nice having these guys drop me ammo. I do have enough for like 5 ammo buys right now if we were to need it. But we are doing, now I couldn't even imagine if I had a better weapon than what I have right now. I have one of the worst weapons in the game, one of the worst weapons you can use for this fight. So if I can beat that with this FFAR right now, if you were to bring in something like a Maelstrom shotgun, I'm sure you would be able to destroy your way through this fight. But I mean, just look how much damage we're doing to that guy. And then we got to be ready for Richtofen the moment he comes out here. I don't know how much damage we'll be doing to him once he comes out. Hopefully it's some hefty damage. That's all I can say. But here we go. Here's Richtofen. Let's see how this works out. Oh no, there's an Uber Klaus there. I'm going to go ahead and Ether Shroud, and I'm going to pump some bullets into him. Oh yeah. And get out of his way while he flies away, because he will kill you otherwise. Let's get rid of this Uber Klaus. Get him out of here. Get that guy out of here. All right, Richtofen is coming back really soon, I think. There he is. And this is going to be the Wonderwall. So we need to try to get... Oh, nope. Okay, that was a fake. That was a fake. Stand inside this fetid upgrade. Try to get my Ether Shroud back. I don't have any Arsenal accelerators. I don't have the Speed Cola that gets it back for me faster. So I'm basically doing it the long way. The only thing I got to accelerate this is my fetid upgrade, but we might actually get it back here though. We are close. We are really close. There we go. Fetid upgrade. That'll get me back my Ether Shroud. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Where is Richtofen, baby? Come on back. Here he comes. Here he comes. I hear him. I hear the Richtofen bombing run. Get out of the way, Whip. Get out of the way. All right. He should be coming back in very shortly where we can actually do damage to him. Oh, there he is. There he is. Ether Shroud. Ether Shroud. There we go. There we go. All right. We are Ether Shrouded. Get the Richtofen. Oh, man, baby. We are crushing him. We are crushing him. We still have our smoke grenades as well. And I also have a full power gobble gum, because I would never recommend coming into this fight without a full power gobble gum, because you just might need to get that back. And I do see a max ammo over there. I'd like to get it, but I also need this fetid upgrade because I would like my Ether Shroud back. So I'm going to take advantage of it first. And I get, nope, we lost it. We lost it. We did not get there in time. That's okay. We have plenty of money. Oh, look at that. Another fetid upgrade. Another fetid upgrade. Oh, this could be my lucky run here, baby. This could be my lucky run. This is definitely cutting down the kills. All right, we're not too many kills away from getting this Ether Shroud back again. And there's plenty of ammo drops. I feel like there are way more ammo drops in this than with my other one. He's coming in for a bombing run. I gotta get out of the way. There we go. We got Ether Shroud back. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right. He's gonna be coming in here in just a moment, and hopefully this is where we finish off this fight. I'm gonna go ahead and Ether Shroud. Oh, okay, there we go. Come on, whip, come on, whip. Oh, baby. Oh, eat that, Richtofen, eat that. Yeah, teabag that bitch. Let's go. This directed mode was amazing. Treyarch, you absolutely nailed it with this one. I have full confidence that any of you out there, if you haven't done this yet, if you haven't beat this fight, you can 100% hop into this directed mode, easily follow all of the prompts in the walkthrough, and you can 100% get through this. Even if you don't want to take on Richtofen, you can take on the Sam boss fight, which is going to be infinitely easier than this one was. But honestly, this one was an absolute cakewalk with the Ether Shroud and the extension, and really nothing else special. We were easily able to get it back between each phase. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure you smash that like button. It really helps me a ton. My name is Cool Whip, and I'm out.